Yuan Yong, died May 17, 528. Any acute Tuoba Yong, courtesy name Simu, formerly Prince Wenmu of Gaoyang, was an imperial prince of the Chinese Xianbei dynasty Northern Wei. He was very powerful during the reign of his grandnephew Emperor Xiaoming, and by corrupt means grew very rich. This, however, drew resentment from the populace, and after Emperor Xiaoming's death in 528 and the subsequent overthrowing of Emperor Xiaoming's mother Empress Dowager Hu by the general Erzhu Rong, Erzhu had him and over 2,000 other officials slaughtered at Heyin, in modern Luoyang, Henan. Background: it is not known when Tuoba Yong was born. What is known is that he was the sixth of 7 sons of Emperor Xianwen, and that his mother was Emperor Xianwen's concubine consort Han, who was also the mother of one of his older brothers. Tuoba Gan. Emperor Xianwen yielded the throne to Tuoba Yong's oldest brother, Emperor Xiaoming, in 471, and died subsequently in 476, probably murdered by Tuoba Yong's step-grandmother, Empress Dowager Hu, who then proceeded to assume regency over Emperor Xiaoming. Emperor Xiaoming liked Tuoba Yong for his lack of inhibitions, and while Yuan Yong did not display much talent while young, he believed that Yuan Yong might show those talents later. In 485, Tuoba Yong was created the Prince of Yingshuan. In 494, when Emperor Xiaoming moved the capital from Pingcheng, in modern Datong, Shanxi, Tuoba Yong's title was changed to the Prince of Gaoyang. In 496, when Emperor Xiaoming changed the name of the imperial clan from Tuoba to Yuan, Tuoba Yong's name was changed to Yuan Yong. Subsequently, when Emperor Xiaoming conducted his campaigns against rival southern Qi, Yuan Yong was put in charge of the important Xiang province, roughly modern Handan, Hebei, but he, unlike most of his other brothers, was not given any greater authority during Emperor Xiaoming's reign. During Emperor Shandwu's reign, Yuan Yong was honored, but not particularly powerful. After Emperor Xiaoming's death in 499 and succession by his oldest son Emperor Shanwu, unlike his brothers Yuan Shi, the Prince of Zhanyang, Yuan Xi the Prince of Pengcheng, and Yuan Xiang, the Prince of Beihai, each of whom received substantial powers. After Yuan Yong served a further stint as the governor of Ji Province, modern central Hebei, Emperor Shandwu recalled him to the capital. He participated in Yuan Xiang's corruption trial in 504. Whenever Emperor Shandwu visited Yuan Yong's mansion, Emperor Shandwu would pay proper respect to him as an uncle, rather than allowing Yuan Yong to bow to him as a subject to an emperor. During Emperor Xiaoming's reign, Emperor Shandwu died suddenly in 515. The officials Yu Zhong and Sui Guang quickly proclaimed Emperor Shandwu's young crown prince Yuanzhu emperor. As Emperor Xiaoming, and seized power away from Emperor Shandwu's wife Empress Gao, whose uncle Gao Zhao, who was also Emperor Shandwu's uncle, was extremely powerful. In order to counteract Gao Zhao, Yuan Sui forced Empress Gao to yield regent powers to Yuan Yong and Emperor Xiaowen's cousin, Yuan Cheng, the Prince of Rencheng, and then, Yuan Yong ambushed Gao Zhao and killed him. Empress Gao was also removed and replaced as Empress Dowager by Emperor Xiaoming's mother consort, Hu. Although Yuan Yong and Yuan Cheng were titular regents, real regency powers were in Yu's hands, and Yu quickly grew exceedingly arrogant and autocratic. The officials Peizhi and Guozhou secretly suggested to Yuan Yong to have Yu's power stripped. When Yu found out about this, he falsely accused Pei and Guo of crimes, and they were put to death. Yu also wanted to kill Yuan Yong, but Sui resisted, so Yuan Yong was only removed from his posts. Later in 515, however, Empress Dowager Hu assumed regency powers and quickly stripped Yu of most of his posts, making Yu the governor of Ji province. As soon as he left the capital, most of his acts were reversed, and Yuan Yong accused him of crimes and asked that he be punished. However, Empress Dowager Hu, because Yu had saved her life before, refused to act against Yu. Although she recalled Yuan Yong back to the administration to serve in high capacity during Empress Dowager Hu's regency, she tolerated officials' corruption and wealth gathering, and often added to the wealth gathering herself by awarding them money and luxuries out of the imperial treasury. Yuan Yong became exceedingly rich at this time, and historians described his wealth as being so great as like a nation's treasury. And he had 6,000 male servants and 500 female servants, while two other princes, Yuan Chen, the Prince of Heyin, and Yuan Rong, the Prince of Zhang, would try to compete with him. They could not, and it was commonly recognized that Yuan Yong was the richest official at the time. This type of corruption among high-level officials had a corrosive effect on Northern Wei's rule. And it was about this time that there began to be large-scale agrarian revolts throughout the empire. In 520, Empress Dowager Hu's brother-in-law, the general Yuan Cha, along with the eunuch Lu Teng, and the palace attendant Hao Gang, carried out a coup against her, putting her under house arrest. Yuan Cha, however, was respectful of Yuan Yong, and he remained in a position of power, although Yuan Cha was effectively the regent. In 525, Yuan Yong plotted with both Empress Dowager Hu and Emperor Xiaoming to restore Empress Dowager Hu, and later that year she seized power back from Yuan Cha and forced Yuan Cha to commit suicide. Yuan Yong, as one who participated in her plan, continued in his position of power. Death. In 528, with Empress Dowager Hu and Emperor Xiaoming in a conflict after Emperor Xiaoming wanted to put Empress Dowager Hu's lover Zheng Yan to death by conspiring with the general Erzhu Rong. Empress Dowager Hu poisoned Emperor Xiaoming and put the young child Yuan Zhao, a great-grandson of Emperor Xiaowin from a collateral line, on the throne. Erzhu refused to recognize Yuan Zhao's imperial authority and advanced on Luoyang, quickly capturing it. He made Yuan Xi's son Yuan Ziyu emperor, as Emperor Xiaozhuang, and threw Empress Dowager Hu and Yuan Zhao into the Yellow River to drown. Erzhu then believed that, in order to show his might, he needed to massacre the high-level officials, whom the people viewed as corrupt, under guise that they were needed to attend Emperor Xiaozhuang in sacrificing to heaven. He had them, led by Yuan Yong, report to Heyan, near Luoyang. Then, he had his cavalry surround them and massacre them. Erzhu would later regret this action, and he had Yuan Yong and the other officials killed buried with honor. Notes.